Well, the USA Powerball is happening tonight. Think the Oilers have a chance of winning that?
According to past records, they win every lottery.
Welcome back to another episode of Hockey Now. My name is Lyndon.
I'm Leroy.
And back from our little winter hiatus after our trip to Calgary. Been a couple weeks, but we're back at it, ready to get back into the groove of things. Starting with, let's talk about the Calgary Flames here. New Year hasn't been so hot for them.
No, slow start, London.
They've lost the last 3 games at home, including a loss to Arizona. Big loss to, who were they playing the other night? San Jose?
San Jose. That was a fun game, though. They played pretty good. Just didn't go their way. The shots were 38-18 or something like that, 35-18.
Yeah, we definitely had them in shots, but it was a high-scoring game, 5-4. You don't see a whole lot of 9-goal games in the NHL these days. But in that game there were some slumps that were kind of stopped.
Yeah, there sure were. Sam Bennett,
Sean Monahan, Michael Furland. I feel like there's one more, but I can't name it off the top of my head.
Yeah, it was good to see.
But a lot of those players who haven't got any goals since the beginning of December getting a goal, which is great to see. Always good to see everyone kind of pitching in and getting some goals on the board.
And what do you think about Furland playing on that top line? He's going to be playing on the top line again tonight.
I actually really enjoyed seeing him on the top line. I felt like he fit in really good, and I felt like he was playing a much well-rounded game than we've seen in the past couple months here. So
his junior stats, he's got some. He had great points. And he pitched in with a couple assists, and you can't go wrong with a big guy in front of the net. Yeah,
really good on the screens there. So the Flames are taking on the Florida Panthers tonight. Florida Panthers coming off a 12-game winning streak. They lost to Vancouver.
Yeah, that was quite hectic, Lennon. I know you want to talk a bit about that Florida overtime and everything that happened after overtime. So go ahead.
So let's back up just into the end of the third period here. Vancouver was actually down 2-1 and scored a goal with 2 minutes left, something like that. Managed to tie the game up, goes to overtime, and of course they get the game winner. So a nice comeback win for Canucks fans, obviously. But what ends up happening right after is a brawl ensues, and just pretty much every single player is going at it. And you saw the video. It was
well, yeah, but I still can't quite see exactly. Henrik went to the opposition's bench, and did he say something? What started it all?
No one seems to know for sure. I was reading up on this today, and there's a few comments that are being thrown around. One of them is that one of the Florida players was making a comment about the Sedin sisters to his face. Another comment floating around is that one of the guys was saying, "I have my name on 2 Stanley Cups and you don't."
That's a pretty good one.
And then there was another comment which shall not be repeated on the air. But yeah, so it's not really clear. Both teams are kind of being tight-lipped about exactly what was said, but it was obviously enough where the whole team pretty much went berserk and went crazy. And it'd be interesting to see if there's any fines or suspensions that come out of this.
Interesting. And Tortorella wasn't even involved.
Funny enough, yeah, that was it. The coaches actually, if you watch the video, the coaches actually had gone to the dressing room and didn't even know this was happening. They had to come back out and were like, "Where's all of our players?" So an interesting brawl that's ensued, and they're still talking about it. That's one thing. If you're talking about a game that happened on Sunday and it is, or I guess it was Monday, and it's now Wednesday, must have been a big deal.
Big news, yeah. So what do you think about tonight? What's going to happen tonight? What's our expectations for Florida tonight?
Florida's climbed to the top of the league, so they are a force to be reckoned with right now, beating out teams like Washington and Montreal and Anaheim. Well, I say Anaheim because I'm used to them being at the top, but they're not anymore. Dallas is another team I could say. But they're at the top of the league right now, and they got a really good offense, a really good defense. Luongo's playing really good.
Good for Luongo.
So you got this big, strong team that's kind of come out of nowhere, and so the Flames are really going to have to buckle down and limit the neutral zone time, because that's the thing they struggled with a lot last game, is lots of turnovers and lots of neutral ice zone time. They need to make sure we're playing in their end, not our end, or else we're going to be in trouble, because their forecheck is going to be all over us if we are playing in our own end.
Well, I'm excited for Huberto down there, playing in Florida and getting a good chance, and them being really well. But other than that, I don't know much about this team, so we'll have to see. I don't know. What do I say? Limit time and space?
Yeah, like I said, Florida's just one of those teams that kind of came out of nowhere, because they've been doing, nothing for so long, and now all of a sudden they're just this really good team.
Coach, what is it? Yager?
Yeah.
Combination of everything? Maybe we'll wrap it up next week.
That's another thing, is
talk about it.
Yager's still playing, and he's actually playing not too bad.
Playing fantastic.
So it's going to be an interesting game for sure, especially when you just consider the fact that they came from nothing. And on the flip side, you got teams like Montreal who are struggling, and who even knows what's going on there.
Hey, how about on another topic, Lynette? How about Mr. Scott there? Didn't even play against us when Arizona was here, but Johnny is going to play beside him in the All-Star game. So, Johnny, feed him well, make him look good.
Here's my take
and we'll give you all the
this.
credit.
If you're not playing NHL games, I don't care if you've been sent down to the AHL or you've been scratched from the game or you have an injury, whatever. If you're not playing an NHL game in January, you shouldn't be in the All-Star game. And this just goes to show how much of a joke the fan voting was. I don't know if it was just people trolling.
They're not true NHL fans.
If there's just he's got some weird fan club down in Arizona that has a ton of fans.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It's just a bunch of bandwagon jumpers all over North America, wherever it is, and just on and off, and they don't really care about the game. You know what? Of course, NHLers aren't going to hit in the All-Star game, Lennon,
because it means
they're under contract to their team. That's only responsibility to respect each other in that game. And it's going to be a high-scoring game. You know what? It's fun. If you like hockey, it's fun. It will be fun. I like the format. John Scott, hey, he's there. There's nothing we can do about it. Don't like it. It's embarrassment. But you know what? Johnny, go have fun with him. I hope he enjoys it. I hope he learns something from it. I hope we all learn something from it. And we move on for next year.
I don't know if we talked about this in the last episode. I'll quickly touch on it. But something that the MLB does is the conference that wins the All-Star game actually gets to have home ice advantage in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Whoa, for next year?
No, in the MLB.
Oh yeah.
So this is something that happens in the MLB.
But do you think that could apply here next year?
I think this is something that the NHL seriously needs to look at, because if they want to make the All-Star game something that is not a joke, and that is considered serious, they need to up the stakes, because right now there are no stakes. At this point in time, you're adding stakes, right? 3-on-3, I love 3-on-3. I think it's going to be a blast to watch, but I don't think longevity-wise, are we going to have 3-on-3 tournaments every single year for the next 10 years? I don't think so. I just don't see it happening. So
I love the idea. I mean, I love the overtime format.
Don't
get
me wrong.
I like the idea that there's a couple mini games, and whoever wins that mini game is going to go to the next one. But just at the expense of a player and their team and everything that's at stake for a season, a regular season, and playoffs to come, I just really don't want anybody hurt. And you know what? If the fans out there want to have an all-star game that includes everybody, well, they'll then go vote everybody in that isn't in the normal rotation, that is up and down from the AHL. They sit on the bench as a bench warmer, and go have an all-star game like that.
I think the AHL does have their own version of an all-star game.
Well, they do, but I'm just saying, well, this is for all-stars. All-stars.
Yeah, regardless.
Not no stars.
It should be interesting to watch. Unfortunately, we'll be out of town, so we won't be able to watch all of it. But
we'll
see what we can catch.
Remotely.
Game Center Live. Rogers, you can sponsor
us. Thanks to smartphones.
If you want to sponsor me, my email's in the description. Thanks, Rogers. Okay. I think that's all. Looking forward to the game tonight. Hopefully, Flames can snap that losing skid. 3 games in a row now. Get back to winning at home, which is what we've been good at. And we've got a road trip coming up, so we want to make sure that we're getting a good start to get on that road trip, because we got to get some offense going. Yeah, it's tight in our division right now. So
there's some gaps starting to be made. We have a few games in hand, but there's no time like the present. So
it could be one of those things where it comes down to the very last game, like it did last season. But who knows what's going to happen? LA is currently running away with the division. They've been playing really well this year. Just signed Kopitar to a new contract as well. So
Montreal's sliding.
It's just the NHL's kind of in a weird state right now. I think that just happens with January, is because it's a lull before the All-Star game coming up, your winter break and New Year. And
hey, on another note, Hendricks from Edmonton got suspended 3 games. I think that was a fair suspension. We won't talk too much about that.
Yeah.
But it's just it's too bad. I look at that similar to Connor McDavid getting hit, and just not necessary. So I'm looking forward to Connor McDavid getting back.
He should be coming back at the end of the All-Star weekend, I believe, is when he's set to return. So,
number 1 draft pick and for the Oiler fans. So a little bit of a shout out there to all of my friends that are Oiler fans. I hope you get him back. I hope he's amazing. Just not against that. Well. Oh, Cassian! Wow.
So he's going to be playing. I don't know if they're playing tonight, but he'll be playing right away. Which will be interesting.
All the best to Connor and coming back, and I hope he does have a great career.
And we mentioned this last time, like Battle of Alberta is definitely back, and I think we got another game coming up either at the end of the month or in February. So Battle of Alberta is definitely something we can look forward to again for both sides. So yeah. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. Kind of getting back into the groove. Might take us an episode or 2 to kind of get our groove back. But lots of cool things coming. You might have noticed that the set behind has changed once again. I got some things planned.
We like change.
Yeah.
Change is good.
Change it up once in a while. But I do have some things planned. So I'll make sure you guys are subscribed for that. As well, like playoffs are going to be, 3 months away now? 3-4 months away? So they're coming up quick. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you do that. Because once playoffs come... we go ham on this thing. Every single day you can expect an episode. So, almost every single day. But, so lots of cool things coming. As well, there's other things coming on the channel as well. So if you've been waiting for other series I've been talking about on Twitter and stuff like that, there is more stuff coming. So make sure you stick around for that. But other than that, that's all I got for you. So we will see you guys next Thursday at 6 p.m.
We'll see ya.